Where did all the time go? All those days and months, and yet we meet at this last hour. This is a cruel trick of time perhaps, or simply a leap that our fates took. Jumping all the way to the future, dragging it all the way here. Why, oh why though? Darling, oh darling, why is the daylight so cruel? Sinking in faster when together, seeking vengeance on our innocence, is it? It is a work of one planned perhaps, to let it slip into the night, night of soulful conversations, night of inevitable kisses. Darling, oh darling, why are the hours so short when I meet you? The dim was just a while ago, it's lighting up again. Are we not meant to be together, is it? But I am not done touching your face still, feeling it with the tips of my fingers. Ecstasy at its best. Darling, oh darling, how do I say this and not sound banal? But if everybody had beautiful minds and soulful eyes, I wonder if they'll fall in love with the scent of your jacket, the scent of cigarette and whiskey, but mostly you, darling, oh darling. Oven-baked, freshly minted and newly burned years. Traded, then trashed, recycled, then forgotten. Laying in between the lines for the blind to see, the deaf to write the perfect symphony, and for the phony to find their causes. The light went off, and the bulb stuck in. A shot followed the fire. Toes dig deeper a trench. The sweat floods the hairline, fading into the sunset. The pen is wearing off and the ink is stuffy. The page is half empty and the book is almost full, with hopes of a stroke of luck, to run into love, to run into life, to love the life. Wishes chastised by logic of the fools with angel wings, humming to the tune of time, to the dying dame's dime. The world passes by indifferently, while memories come in sachets of flashbacks and lost hope. New people are strangers, old ones are gone, and in the crossroad you stand alone. Deserted, yet undefeated, the hand moves to 11. The heart makes a wish, lips mumble a prayer, and in the distance a blow goes off. In the midst of muffled cries, dying lies, and exasperated sighs, the night falls like a head on the satin sheet. Dreams come alive and the day dies.
I greatly enjoyed reading Dechen's poems, Dying Dame's Dime, Darling, oh Darling, and Blemishes. Even though each poem is unique in feel and character, for me there are two common threads which run throughout. A sense of the fleetingness of time, of life, and also the sorrow that can come with love. All three poems convey a sense of loss in some form. In Dying Dame's Dime there is a harshness in the alliterative stress on baked and burned, traded and trashed. The narrator seems quite disillusioned and tired with life. There is a sense of futility. Again, in Darling, oh Darling, the idea of tempus fugit, time flying, continues. The hyperbolic repetition of Darling, oh Darling at the end of each stanza relays a sense of urgency, of time running out. In this way, it reminds me of Marvell's To His Coy Mistress, which also conveys the speed at which time flies when you're in love. However, the urgent desperation of the narrator's feelings towards his or her lover also remind me of the intensity of Romeo and Juliet's love affair, and similarly to Shakespeare's play, the poem has tragic overtones in the repetition of cruel and the juxtaposition of innocence and vengeance. This sense of loss continues in Blemishes, which begins with a wonderful metaphor, while memories come in sachets of flashback and lost hope. I love the idea of memories being held in salt and pepper type paper sachets. Although there is a sense of loneliness at the heart of the poem, there is also a feeling of hope in the inner strength of the person who remains undefeated. There is relief in the closing lines. Night falls like head on satin covers. Dreams come alive, the day dies. The simile is so evocative, and the reference to satin adds essential feel. In the death of the day, which perhaps symbolises an old way of life, and the falling of night, there is an underlying sense of hope and rebirth.